Hi, I'm Izzati Khairudin. I am from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I have been flying since 2015 and I've got now about 180 flying hours. I am the CEO for AKA Balloon Senyum Berhad, where we organize the annual Hot Air Balloon Fiesta in Penang and Putrajaya. Also, I am a commercial balloon pilot for My Balloon Adventure, the one and only commercial flight offered in Malaysia.
You don't want to give me clarity. A testament to your character.
The situation of COVID-19 outbreak in Malaysia is now under control. We have been under movement control order from the 18th of March. Unfortunately, it was a day before our scheduled annual event in Putrajaya, up until early May, where the Prime Minister announced some leeway of the movement control order, where we're now more flexible that we can go out compared to strict movement control before. So this was during my training in Catalonia. Specifically, we were flying over Manresa. It was together with Miguel. He is our instructor, Angel's business partner. But during the training, we never have a crew that will follow us. So usually we will drive with the truck and the trailer with the balloon to a location where me, my sister Atika, and the instructor of the day, we will set up the balloon, we will take off and fly, and they will leave the car there. And usually either Miguel or Carles, if we're flying with Angel, they will come and rescue us after we land. But our flight is usually 2 to 3 hours on a daily basis. So when we're done, they will call whoever to pick up us with the car. That day when we were flying with Miguel, we tried our luck. And I like to fly really high, and that day there was a sort of a flat top hill, and I said, I want to fly over that flat top hill. And I said, he was looking at our fuel, because fuel management is very important. Looking at the fuel and said, okay, let's go for it. We know higher, we've got more wind speed, and probably we'll make it. So we took off, flew higher, and we flew over the flat top mountain. But then as we were landing, we were approaching a small town with a river in the center of the town. And as we were flying over the town, and we were very anxious because our fuel was very, very low. And we were desperate to look for a place to land. Unfortunately, the wind blew us just on the river, so we were just following the river, and finally we got off the river route. Then there was a small plot of land. We landed immediately there. However, there was no one who picked us up. We had to walk back, but we didn't have to walk back to the car. What we had to do was, thank God Miguel's house was nearby. We had to cross the river on foot. It was a sort of a river dam. We had to cross and then go through some woods and get to his house. So when we reached to his house, there was only a caravan there. So all of us went into the caravan, and he said, can you drive this thing? Thank God I can drive a stick. So we're like, okay. So after that, with the caravan and Miguel driving the caravan, we went back to the takeoff site to pick up the car, and then I have to drive the caravan. He drove the retrieval car back to his house so I can drop the caravan there, and then we took back the retrieval truck and go back to where we landed and pick up the balloon. So yes, that was the first and only time I have to walk somewhere to retrieve the balloon. My second retrieval was when I attended the Agra Balloon Festival in India in November 2016. So I've always had this huge dream to fly in India, and I've heard so much stories. This was actually my first flight in India. So I only flew the second day, and only because as a new pilot and for someone who's in India, and you kinda not let wind determine whether you will make the flight or not. You're like, no, I'm here, I will fly. So on that day it was a really windy takeoff. My flight was about 20 knots. So my husband and I, Ashraf, we flew. But as you fly, you could literally hear the city roar from below. So all the children were just screaming, and there was about 15 to 20 balloons. As we were flying, we tried to look for somewhere to land. So this was about half an hour flight. And we traveled quite far. We flew out of the Agra city, and then it was just agricultural land. Right after we landed, it was a really windy landing. The balloon went straight flat, and as we were looking around, there was no one. And when we started to pack, people started coming, and literally by hundreds. It's just people literally in your face, and at first it was really stressful because all the people were just tapping on the balloon envelope. It was just me and my husband. They don't understand English, and as a woman as well, you're really scared because people were so close to you. So I told my husband, okay, it was either I'm gonna break down and cry, or I'm gonna distract everyone. You pack the balloon, and then we'll go from there. So what I did was I turned on my GoPro with the selfie stick. So I pulled it up very, like, the furthest it can go, and then I asked everyone to just look at the camera and wave and say hi, which everyone got really excited, and I moved away from the balloon. And then my husband had to roll the envelope as quickly as we could. So as we were waiting, again, suddenly, like a Bollywood movie, you've got the local hero that came and spoke English.
Sorry? Where are you coming from? Malaysia. Malaysia. Yes. Now where are you going? We're going back to near Touch. Okay. Somewhere near.
And said, you've got to leave this place. I said, I can't leave this place because my balloon is here, and who's going to take care of my envelope and my basket? I can't just leave this here. What if someone steals the balloon? And then he said, no, but the landowner is really angry that if you stay here, there are more people coming in. As I look, as far as my eyes can see, I can see just people running towards us. He said, don't worry, they will carry the balloon. And as he said that, I looked back, and my balloon is being carried by people. So they put the envelope inside the basket, and everyone was just carrying the equipment. And then we got on the small road, jumped on his bike, and he drove us away from the place. It didn't end there. So what happened was, he brought us by the roadside. He said, okay, don't worry, your retrieval will find you here. So as we were waiting by the roadside, thank God to our hero who rescued us and the rest of the villagers who carried our basket. Because while we were waiting for our balloon to arrive on the roadside, there was a lady who approached us. So she was, I think, walking on the way back from home with full colourful sari. She came to me and held my hand, and then she invited me for chai tea at her house. And then my husband and I like, hey, this is pretty awesome. Like, when will we have this authentic experience? And we said yes, of course. The next thing we know, we end up in the house. Everyone on the field was also at the house, so it became like this huge gathering. The house was really clean. It was basic. It was clean, and they were warm, and I met their family. So they've actually sat us down, introduced the family, and they were actually making hot chai tea in the kitchen. And then we all sat with audiences behind and in front of us, and we enjoyed the tea. And I did feel like the First Lady giving a tour or a visit in India. It did feel like that, because everyone was just looking at you and really excited. Next thing you know, I can hear honking, and my crew was already there with police escort. So going to Agra and being able to fly over Taj Mahal has been, something one would definitely dream of, and I would like to thank Karim for the opportunity. But it was a beautiful experience, and so that was my epic retrieval. My favorite part about flying a balloon is the freedom of the unknown. I want to be in control in every aspect of my life. But when it comes to ballooning, that's one thing I learned. It really has calmed me down. In a balloon, you just don't know what you would expect in every flight. You hope for it to be the best, but you also have to always be prepared what you may encounter. So I think that is the best part about ballooning, where it teaches you to survive every challenges that come towards you. So yeah.